Okay, so I thought that this video we could focus on phobias, and that was a suggestion from one of my subscribers. So if you have a suggestion or you have a comment, please put that in the comment section. And if you like my videos, please put a like so I can know which ones you like and which ones you don't like or what you prefer. So we're going to talk about phobias, and I'm spelling it because I'm going to give you several signs. I've noticed, and I've done this myself, some signers will do phobia, and this is not phobia, this is paranoia. Paranoia. It's in your mind. But so are phobias. But phobias are something that someone has experienced. Remember we said touch, finish? So they've experienced it, and it caused them trauma or fear. So a phobia can be a fear. We've already shown you the sign, but I'm going to show it to you again. A closed O, you start out this way and you have it go towards you. Fear, fear, fear. These next two signs are used for anxious or anxiety, nervous. So one of them, I've already shown you this before, it's like, because it's from the one hand shape, if you want to go back, is because your leg is shaking. Or you can do nervous. Now, the reason why I can know when to use it for anxiety, I had a patient that had anxiety, and they wanted to cut down her medicine or whatever, or change her medicine, and they were asking her about her anxiety, and she would do, that looks like anxiety, right? She does nervous, but she goes up with it, and her whole body does, and you can see her facial expression, anxiety. And so you can use all three signs for a phobia. So they have a fear, an extreme fear, or they have a nervous anxiety about something. But paranoia is something that's in your mind. Maybe it has something to do with what someone has said or experienced, but phobias specifically is about something that someone has experienced or touched, finished. And so there's four main categories of phobias. The first one is nature, your H hand shape, and it goes down on your hand, nature, or environment with the E, with environment. Or it can be animals. Who hasn't been bit by a dog in fear, right? Medical treatment, like a shot or an IV, those kinds of things, or MRI, we'll talk about that. So that's a little bit different, that's claustrophobia. Or situations like claustrophobia and aerophobia, which is fear of flying. So we're going to be talking about those specifically, but you have those main four things. So situations, your medical, your environment, and animals. So those are categories. And so we're not really psychologists, but that way you can kind of know, because you probably know someone, if you might have a phobia, or someone you know has a real life phobia. It's like they're not going to do it. That is a sign with the X hand shape, and you have it out, and then you go this way. I'm not doing that. And a lot of people will do that like snakes. Can't handle snakes, can't do that. Oh, you want to go on a zip line? Not me. Oh, a roller coaster? No. No, not me. I'm not doing that. Surgery? That could be considered a phobia, because I'm not doing it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. I'm not doing it. So that could be used as a phobia as well. So it's so funny. They have like a fear of bathing. Who knew? Maybe that's a problem with cats. Anyway, but that's called abutophobia, and I can't even say all these Latin names, so let's go with ones I can say. And everyone knows about the fear of heights. And I do tall. We don't have to do this because this is advancement, or you don't want to do age. I mean, you get confused. I do heights. Being tall, fear of heights, or tall fear, right? So a fear of heights, and that's called acrophobia. Fear of flying, aerophobia. So you have your airplane, which looks like an I love you, but notice this is like the nose part, and these are the wings, right? So you have your airplane. So flying, that is ASL grammar. You have your topic. I don't have time. I don't have yesterday or last week, but flying, oh, I fear. And it could be because of what they've experienced themselves. Like, oh, we had turbulence and I was scared we were going to crash, right? Crash or whatever. The fear of riding in a car. So you have your car or your car, and to ride in, I'm scared. I've only seen one person was really had a phobia of a fear of being in a car. I've seen lots of people fear in a police car. It's something different. A fear of anger. I had no idea. So anger. And this is you are bent 3 hand shape, and it comes from the lung areas, your emotional areas here. Anger. Anger. Fear, anger. Kind of an opposite facial expression, right? But you would do your topic first. Anger. Fearful of that. I don't want that. I don't like that. Right? Can't go with that. Fear of flowers. Flowers. Fear. And I want to go a little bit. Fear of people or society. And we see that a lot, actually. And that's why people will stay in their apartment, maybe never leave. Or when they're in a crowd, they just got to get out of there, they get anxiety. And we mostly say that's anxiety or social anxiety, right? Not each other or around, I would say social, because you're around a bunch of people, right? These are your people. Or anxiety, society, social, right? So you see how they're interchangeable, that fear and, oh, a crowd, people, crowd, can't do that. So you see how they're interchangeable with those signs. Fear of peanut butter? Okay. And I don't think I can even say that word. Okay. Spiders. Arachnophobia or whatever that's, anyway, this fear of spiders. And I think a lot of people are that, there's spiders and they crawl on them. I have a lizard in my bathroom right now. I'm not fearful of it, but it's like, it just jumps out at me and I'll be scared, right? But I don't have phobia against the lizard. I just don't want him in my bathroom. Okay. So you can have a fear. Now, lightning and thunder, I know like dogs, veterans, or ex-military you can use. Sometimes a vet, I don't want it to confuse with a veterinarian. So I'll say like an ex-military, they have a fear of lightning and thunder, and you can understand why. And dogs also, and then some people, I had a niece who was struck by lightning, so I'm sure she's fearful of lightning. So be careful around your 4th of July or New Year's with your dogs or your ex-military, because that fear is real, because it sounds like bombs, right? So be very cognizant of that one. Okay, so there was one, claustrophobia. So that's a fear of confined spaces. And many people, like an elevator, they're scared, right? An MRI, they're scared. A closet, they're scared. I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine that I interpreted for. She was a patient, and she's gone now, but she had a real fear and anxiety of an MRI, because when she was a young woman, her husband at the time, they got into an argument, and he shoved her into a closet, and he locked the door. Now she's deaf, she can't hear. Now it's dark, there's no light, turned off the light on the outside, Now she's blind, right? Because you can't see and you can't hear. So she banged and 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 she did everything. She tried to find something in the closet that she could try to open the door with. And what she finally did is that she clawed and clawed and clawed herself until she could get out of the closet. Now that is a real fear of closed-in spaces, of dark spaces. So when I interpreted for her for an MRI or CT, she was better, but an MRI, she would get that, injection, the medicine to calm her down from her anxiety. And then I was there. I can't be in the room with the MRI, and her sister would go, and we would be with her. And she knew there was other people. There was glass, and so she could see the other people. She knew I was there. She knew her sister was there. She knew there was medical people to help her there. And they give you that little ball, like if you have some experience in anxiety, you can squeeze the ball. And she never did that because we made sure that she had everything she needed, that she was okay. She was nervous, but she wasn't scared. So there are some people with these real phobias that we need to be very sensitive to. Okay. What is another one? The dentist, there's a fear of that. There's a phobia. And a fear of trees. That's the environment. Fear, I don't know, unless one fell on them, or they saw that happen, or they heard that happened, or they're afraid it's going to, like a tornado or a hurricane, and the winds, and then the tree, fall on them. These are real fears that people have. Fear of cats. Oh, come on, they're so sweet. Anyway, fear of vomiting. There's fear of horses, fear of marriage. Many people are not getting married. I always hear, oh, I'm scared of marriage. Is that a real phobia, or just they don't want to get a divorce? I mean, but they're still fears. So the point is of this whole phobia section is that you can use the sign for fear, nervous or anxious, or I'm doing that. So we have 4 signs that we can use when we know someone, or you want to discuss about a phobia, a fear. And I would use that first, and then you can see how bad that fear is. There's many people that are fearful of many things. Like I said, I had that one patient who was really young, and he had a heart problem. But every time that they needed to put the dye to do the ultrasound of his heart, and they had to put the dye in, an IV, his wife would have to come in, 2 nurses would have to come in. I was there to try to keep him focused so that they could do that, to give him the dye. And I would explain it, but he just had this horrible fear of needles. And many people will pass out, and he didn't pass out. He just had this fear. He's like, oh no, and he would just fight them. So there's different ways that people express their fears, but they're real. So don't downplay it. So anyway, we have those 4 signs that we can use for phobia, and then always make sure that you have that topic first, like flying. You can see my little airplane flying. Fearful, right? That's so your topic is first, and then that comment, that fear, or those kinds of signs. So you can use that. And so it's really only 2 signs for a whole phrase. I have a fear of flying, that we have this so many words. Flying, fearful, I can't, right? So so make sure that you practice that. And if you want to go back to the basics, I have numbered my videos so you can go back to one, -1, -2, and you can see those basic hand shapes and the signs that are associated with it to give you more of that foundation. And then you continue with the conversations and discussions. So have a good day, and I will see y'all later. Bye.